So this is for the Refuah Shlema, Refuah Nefesh, Refuah Guf of Dvorah Bas Sheva Bas Chana. And I'm taking from the writing of the Arizal, Tameat Mitzvos. In Parshas Tetzaveh, we speaks about the incense. So he says, Aaron will burn spice incense upon the incense altar every day. He shall burn it when he cleans out the lamps of the menorah. When Aaron kindles the lamps of the menorah in the evening, he will burn it again. It is a continual incense offering before God for all generations. So we see that there is a connection between the menorah and the Ketores, between vision, seeing, and smelling. They're interconnected. So here he explains, I'm just going to read it once just to get the root of the idea. He says, know that when Zer Anpin receives mentality of Ima, this state of reality is called incense. While when he receives mentality of Abba, this is called oil. So Abba, which is connected to Chochmah, corresponds to oil, and which is represented by the menorah, and incense, Ketores, is connected to Ima, and that's Bina. And the idea here is, as it explains a little bit, is that the Abba, the Chochmah, is when, I'll give an example when we learn something. And probably the best example, because the menorah corresponds to the Torah that we learn. So we learn Torah, we see a pasuk, we read a pasuk, we see a pasuk, and it looks, we're excited. We start seeing the letters. We start seeing an idea, a concept. Something is coming out, wisdom, information, and there's an inspiration there. There's a light. There's an excitement. We perceive something, but the whole idea is integration. The whole idea is that, how does it apply to me? How does it become something that I can relate to and I can apply to my life, and to a point that it's even more exciting, it's even more tangible. It's a love that's not just in Chochmah, it's a love that's in Bina. It's like the love of a father and a mother is very different. Love of a father is more, you can't really touch it so much. You can get a hug from your father, but it's very different than you get a hug from your mother. The hug of a mother is very tangible. It's more in this world. The love of a father is more like giving Hashem nachat ruach, right? But the love of a mother is much more connected to our Olam Asiyah. So this is how I like to look at it. Imagine that you are looking at something. Same thing, I'm taking this time the example of the food, because I think it's a great example. And food and Torah, we know, is the same. Lechem is like Torah. So we see food and it looks, wow, delicious. It looks delicious and inspiring. If I take that food and it smells bad, I'm not going to eat it. It's like, ooh. You know, it was exciting, it was great, but if I see the food, wow, and then I smell it, the smell makes it, wow, I got to eat that. This is incredible. The smell is like the seal of approval of that food that looks delicious. So this is the same thing with the Torah. Here it says, it continues a little bit, it says, oil and incense gladden the heart. This refers to the union of between Tiferes and Malchus. Tiferes and Malchus, the oil and the incense. The kindling of the menorah and the burning of the incense cause love between them. And that's what I love. It says, it brings love. You want to love Hashem more. You want to love the food more. You love the Torah more. You need to have that combination. You have to make sure that what you see, what you perceive, you imagine, what inspired you, now becomes connected to you. It's like when Rebbe teaches us to take a pasuk, a teaching, and put it in our davening. That's becoming the incense. Each time I daven a Torah thought, it's taking the oil when from the learning, and then now putting the incense, and we're joining both, and that makes you love Hashem more. And he finishes, therefore, the incense is considered to be greater than all the other sacrifices, because that's the whole point. The whole point of sacrifice is to be able to be one again. The whole point of learning Torah is to be able to have it part of you. Therefore, it's the greatest. It's the most. I bring the Chokhmah all the way down to Asiya, so to speak, to the physical world, to my heart. And the initials of the words for the lamps in the evening, which is Et Hanerot Bein Ha'arbaim, spell the word for Ahava, for it causes love between Zer Anpin and Nukva. So we see that, and since the priest is rooted in Chesed, he's the one who does this. That's what it's the one who does the menorah, and the one who does the Ketores, and they have to do both connected. So I hope that I was clear enough, and that inspires us to always bring down what we learn, to smell our learning, to smell our food, to make it something tangible and enjoyable and lovable, that each time I eat, each time I learn, I'm falling more and more in love with God. I'm getting that hug from the mother. I'm getting the musar, the teachings from my father. I'm getting the Torah Simecha, the hug of the mother, and so thank you for listening.